Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I am back with a special build, which you can probably tell by the fact that the exterior of this house is already partially done, and that is because this is a collab video with two of my good friends, MissSimReno and RachelPedd. We are creating 3 townhouses on these 3 narrow lots on this one strip of land in Newcrest. And the idea was for them to be for 3 Sims who are in a love triangle. And we thought about maybe going back and forth and figuring out what the storyline was there, but I thought it would be more fun if each of us just sort of imagined one Sim in this trio, and watching the other 2 videos kind of made it a surprise of what the other 2 Sims that our particular household is involved with were. I am actually so excited to see their videos. So there's going to be 2 videos linked down below to both April and Rachel's channels and to their videos. Please go check them out. They are both amazing, super talented Sims builders, and I think you're going to love them. And I'm going to be going over there as well because I can't wait to see what they did for this collab. I can't wait to see their townhouses. But for my purposes, this is the home that I created, and the shells of the exterior, which I think we probably all edited a little bit, but the shell that I placed down in the beginning, those were all made by MissSimReno or April, which honestly was so helpful because it allowed me to not go back and forth too often or too much about what shape I wanted to make this, and then all of the houses were pretty cohesive and looked like townhouses that would be built next to each other so that they work together well. But this ends up being a 1-bedroom townhouse. There is a second room upstairs that could be another bedroom, but I decided to have that as more of an office space, which you'll see when we get to the upstairs. But quickly, the way I decorated this turned into a townhouse for somebody who is a little bit more into a darker aesthetic. I was kind of imagining the Sim might have been a skater at some point in time, or maybe still is, and this is their first like adult home. They did purchase this townhouse, and this is where they live, or maybe they're renting it. And so the built-in fixtures don't necessarily fit their aesthetic, but the furniture and stuff that they place in here does. So I really loved that idea because normally when I'm trying to go for something that's a little bit of a darker look, I would pick out like appliances and like countertops and stuff to fit that. But in this one, I have these more traditional, older style looking counters, and I just thought that that was really fun. I also kept this brown siding on the outside, which I'm pretty sure April used in hers as well. So that's going to be kind of fun that they match. And you can actually see on the upper left-hand corner of the screen, this lot is called Civic Cliffs, and it's the middle lot of the 3 that are all the same size, if you were wondering where to place it. We all had picked a side, and I ended up with the middle one, so that is where you would place this if you decide you'd like to download it. And if you do, this version, this completed townhouse, is available on my gallery under the EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi, and you can also find it under the hashtag Gryphi. And make sure to check out the other 2 videos on where to download the other 2. Anyway, I am working on the landscaping here. I had some more structured flower beds on the exterior here. And then when I got to the inside, I have been using dark woods way too often. So I was like, you know what? We're going for a light wood tone. We're going to match the cabinets. We're going to go from there. And I think it was so nice because it contrasts beautifully with the furniture that I picked out, like the rugs, the couches. And I think the interior of this house ends up being so pretty in the end. I'm really proud of it. I would actually love to live here. It's a dream of mine to eventually own a house or a townhouse or something. But unfortunately, everything is so expensive. And so it feels like something that will never happen. So when I get to build these in The Sims, I'm like, oh, the dream. And this is one that I really enjoy because I've never had a kitchen that's like a decent size. I've only had very tiny or very outdated kitchens. And the one I have now is tiny. It's like a hallway. So this is like a spacious kitchen in my opinion. Also, it has like a sort of like pantry area. I've never had a pantry. I have like those upper head cabinets. I have like one of those, and that's where we have to store all of our dry food because there's no room anywhere else. So it's like a dream kitchen. But anyway, I am starting to decorate it now. I did end up actually picking up black appliances. I forgot that I did that. But I feel like maybe you had to bring your own things, or maybe this sim actually put like contact paper or something over it. I know that's really popular. for like renter solutions when it comes to living in apartments or townhouses. And so I could see them doing that. And of course, this is where you can start to see the vision coming together with the rug I put in the kitchen, as well as the flowers on the counter, which is actually a bouquet from the My Wedding Stories game pack. I love that swatch. I think it's the last swatch, but like the reds and purples and black flowers, it's just so, so pretty. So I was really happy with that. Also, you could see me going into tab mode here quite a few times to get a view of what everything would look like from the other room. I, of course, also had to get cutting boards in here and a microwave, and I'm using the same Rage hood that I put in pretty much every build now, which is from Home Chef Hustle. And I'm also in love with this coffee maker that recently came with the bistro kit. What is it called? Cozy Bistro. That's what that's called. So I thought that that would be a nice addition in here, and of course getting another little plant. And I'm trying to think what else I add in here. Oh, some plates. These are also from Home Chef Hustle. I am in love with that stuff pack. I definitely overuse the tiles and the counters from it, but I don't think I used either of those in this build. So proud of me for that. The tile I'm actually using in this kitchen, which I end up using in the bathrooms as well, is from Jungle Adventure. I thought it was really pretty, and it tied in well with the like black accents I have throughout this entire apartment, as it's a nice gray color, and I didn't feel like it looked out of the ordinary with these counters either. And it's one I don't use as often anymore. I feel like I used to use it a lot, but like many others, I tend to fall into favorites that I will overuse for long periods of time. So it's always nice when you go back and use some of the ones that you don't use as often anymore. Anyway, we are in the living space now. The kitchen's pretty much done, and I am just picking out some curtains and struggling with them. These are some beautiful curtains that actually came with the Modern Luxe kit, and I knew immediately I wanted to use this sofa in here, which is from Dream Home Decorator, because I loved the color of the pillows, like the purpley pink color, and it was like a dark grayish black sofa. So I grabbed that, and then I'm just trying to figure out the rug. I'm pretty sure I tried a few different ones in the end, but right now I have this fluffy black rug, which I think is really pretty. And I paired it with this coffee table from Get Famous because it matched the wood tone of the floor, and I thought that that made a lot of sense in here. Trying to get some stuff that, you know, felt like it went together, because I don't think this is the Sims' first place. It's just their first, like, house or like townhouse. I was thinking they probably lived in an apartment before and they had a lot less space, so they probably bought new furniture when they moved here and they have a little bit of money. So that was the idea behind this. I also got a record player over there and a frame TV and this adorable little tray from the, oh goodness, that's from Tiny Living. That was one of the first trays we got that had like books and stuff on it. We have a few different options now that have like tea or books or like wine on them, but this was the first one we got, and I just think it is so cozy and it fit the color scheme beautifully. And then I made this modular unit behind the sofa, kind of like framing the stairs to add some more clutter to, and I thought it was a really good way to use the space because it's kind of like an awkward space behind the couch. What do you fit there? So I filled it up with books and shoe storage and just like boxes and all sorts of stuff. I have a couple of decorative pieces as well, and that painting I have on the wall over there, I love pretty much every swatch of it. I am going to be moving that though because I decided I wanted to have these skateboards over here instead, since that was kind of the idea behind this sim. And those are from Parenthood. I just scaled them up ever so slightly so they would have a little bit more presence on the wall. And I think that really made this space come together. I think it is so cute. Those are not an item I use very often, but whenever I get to it, just feels really exciting because they're just such a unique piece, and I really love the swatches on them. There's a couple of swatches that look kind of like surfboards as well, which I've used in some homes for like more beachy homes, like someplace I imagine a surfer would live. And speaking of which, I might do something like that sometime soon as we are in summer in the Northern Hemisphere. It is so hot outside. I am so over it, but maybe it would be a fun excuse to do some warmer builds. Although things are about to get spicy on the channel with the new expansion pack that comes out later this month. And actually, it might be fun to revisit this idea that I have in this particular build of having a love triangle once that pack comes out. Maybe I have like 3 Sims that are living together that have a love triangle. I would also like to just do some wholesome builds for some Sims that might be in a polyamorous relationship. I don't want everything to be like scandalous. I think it would just be really cute to have some things like that. But of course, I'm going to be doing some spicier builds as well, and I'm really excited about it. I am pumped for this new Lovestruck expansion pack. Definitely let me know what you were thinking about it and what builds you would like to see with it. But this was inspired by the fact that I'm very excited about it. We had been discussing for a while doing some sort of collab with Townhouses, and we threw around a bunch of different ideas. And then once this pack was suggested, I was like, love triangle? Should we do a love triangle? And that was like an immediate yes in our group. And now this has come to be. So anyway, we are upstairs now working on the bedroom, and I am using a bed once again from Dream Home Decorator in this beautiful like purpley pink swatch, and bringing in a nice black rug. This rug is actually from the fitness stuff pack. I know that's not one a lot of people have, so I wanted to point that out. I do really like that rug, and there's actually quite a few items from the fitness stuff pack that I enjoy, so it's one I like. I don't think it's necessarily worth your $10, but it is a cute pack. There are some beautiful items in it. And I guess speaking of which, if you decide to pick up that pack or any pack, I do have a creator code with The Sims with the EA app. If you enter the code Gryphi, Gryphi at checkout, it gives me a small percentage of the purchase. So it's less money that EA gets and more that a creator gets. A lot of us have these codes now. So if you are ever purchasing something, I would suggest probably using somebody's code because it doesn't cost you anything extra, and it's a great way to support creators that you watch. So I did want to mention that I do have that code, and that is always in the description. Anyway, I am just decorating these bedside tables here. I get some books and magazines and plants and this open journal, which is an item I feel like I use a lot. It is a base game item that we got years ago now, but it didn't come in the base game at first. I also used a lot of these throw pillows in this build. These are from the login event that happened a couple of weeks ago now. And I just thought that they added a nice little bit of color to this couch, and I ended up using them in the backyard as well. Because this house has a small fenced-in area, you could definitely expand it. This isn't like the smallest lot. I think it's a 30 by 20. So there's more space if you want to extend it, but I did end up having a couple of lounge chairs back there that I put that pink pillow on so that we had a little bit more of that pink outside, which I thought was really fun. But anyway, this is going to be our other room that I was thinking like office space at first, but it sort of turned more into a gym because we don't really have much in the game that symbolizes somebody who likes to skate or have skateboards. So I decided, you know what, athletic in general. So this room has a punching bag and a treadmill. I guess I could have added maybe some bicycles or something so they could go biking. That's like the closest thing I feel like we have. But I didn't do that, but that's something easy to add if you would like to do so. But this is going to be the one and only bathroom the one and only full bathroom. There is a half bathroom downstairs that we already decorated, but we have the same fixtures in here. We just have a shower tub combo as well and some extra decor as this is a larger bathroom. So getting a nice plant on the back of the toilet, of course, a place to dry off your hands, soap, all of that kind of stuff. Very simple. I like how the room came out, but it's definitely not a complicated space. And then just getting a little rug as a mat to dry your feet on. And then I swapped out the rug in the hallway out here so that we wouldn't have the same one. And I got, I believe, a plant and some towel storage out here. And do I also add temperature controls? No, I added I added a light. And then we're back into the office or gym, whatever you'd like to call it. And I added a speaker so your Sims can listen to music as well as a bookcase in here because it felt like it was missing something. And I figured a bookcase was a nice enough thing to have. And then continuing with the sort of athletic vibe, I did add a yoga mat out on the balcony that comes directly off of the office. And then we are outside finishing up our landscaping and figuring out the rest of the backyard. I do end up having a hot tub out here, which I think would be really fun, especially for a love triangle. I could imagine all of the steamy nights out here. I just really love that idea. So I do have that and a couple of lounge chairs and I believe a barbecue as well. So there's definitely some entertaining space out in the backyard of this townhouse. And I think the storyline that could come to be with these three Sims, because I don't know what the other two are yet, but I think it could be really fun, and you could always imagine your own Sims in these situations as well. And I think that these townhouses are going to be a fun way to start a storyline going with that kind of idea. And I'll probably be doing more stuff like this once the new pack comes out. But yeah, here is the hot tub, the barbecue. I also grabbed the trash can and I tucked that out front by the car. And then just getting a couple of these lounge chairs and a drinks tray. And that's pretty much it for this build. I really love how this one came out, so I really hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. And of course, please, right now, go check out the videos in the description. Go see what Rachel and what April created with this same idea of 2 townhouses that are going to be next to this one for a love triangle. I'm so excited to see what they did, and I hope you will enjoy them as well. And with that, we are heading on to screenshots. Thank you so very much for watching. Please enjoy those. Go watch those videos, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.